Hello, everyone. Welcome. Can everyone hear me? Awesome. Thank you for joining us today. So today so sorry, we were waiting for Manuel, but I don't think he was able to log in. So we'll go ahead and get it started. And I'll briefly introduce our student org. So we are a student org that serves migrant students, whether they're undocumented, DACA recipients, or just migrants. So and allies also, which I'm one of them. And today our panel is meant and said to inspire our youth. Here you have some of the students activists, presidents, vice presidents, community students, students of BC and part of the community from different parts of Kern County. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and let them introduce themselves. Jasmine, can you briefly introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you, Edith. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Nieto conference. My name is Jasmine Herrera, and I am currently a second-year student at Bakersfield College and working towards my associate's degree in both psychology and sociology. And I'm happy to be here today.
Thank you, Jasmine. And next, can I have Manuel introduce himself, please?
How's it going, everyone? I'm glad to be here. My name is Manuel Rosas. Of all the panelists, I'm probably the one with the least tech-savvy skills. So naturally, I had trouble logging in today, but I'm here with a little bit of coaching. I made it in, so glad to be here.
Thank you, Professor Manuel. Next, can I have Elizabeth Garcia introduce herself, please?
Thank you, Edith, for passing it on to me. My name is Elizabeth Garcia. I am a sophomore at Bakersfield College and a member of L.U.P.E, and my major is registered nurse. Thank you. Passing it back to you, Edith.
Thank you, Elizabeth. And then can I have Elizabeth Arevalo introduce herself, please?
Yes, thank you, Edith. Hello, everyone. My name is Elizabeth, and I'm currently a second-year student, and I am majoring in sociology. And I became a member of L.U.P.E because I felt safe and welcomed around individuals that had similar struggles and interests as me. Back to you, Edith.
Muchas gracias, Elizabeth. Thank you. Okay, and then can I have Erick please introduce himself?
Hi, everybody. It's wonderful to be here with all of you today. As you have heard, my name is Erick Brettatorez, and I am a current CSUB student majoring in sociology with the human services concentration and a minor in communication studies. This is my third year in college. I am a junior, and I am part of L.U.P.E for its welcoming environment and cohort of networks and communication across Kern County. And the people that are in this club are just amazing and beautiful and in every single way that you can think of. And I'm very happy to be here today. Oh, Edith, you're on mute.
Sorry, guys. And then lastly, well, not lastly, I'm the last one, but Rafael, can you please introduce yourself? Thank you.
Hi, thank you, Edith. Hi, everyone. My name is Rafael de la Mora. This is my second year at Bakersfield College. My major is English, and I want to be a teacher. Passing back to you, Edith.
Muchas gracias, Rafael. Okay, and then, so I am the last one. So I am the president of Latinos Unidos Por Educación. Definitely, it has empowered me as a student, as a leader, as an organizer, as an activist. And it has also allowed me to continue my educational pathway, and also giving me resources and tools to further like the things that I like to do For example, right now I am a South Current Soul news reporter that I was able to connect thanks through L.U.P.E. And I've been working with them for a year now, and it's really awesome. So yeah, I'm very grateful for that opportunity and for that job. And you know, now I am running for president of BCSGA, the student body. And it feels awesome because, you know, my student org believed in me. They're like, you could do it, you could represent us. And I'm like, okay, ya ahí voy yo, bien obediente. But it's taken me places that I never imagined to be at. And I'm just grateful to be here and share space with you. And I hope this panel inspires youth, especially in underserved communities, to pursue their goals and continue their educational goals and any goal that they may have. So Professor Emmanuel, can you just talk a little bit about some of the stuff that L.U.P.E. does? Thank you.
Thank you, Edith, for that. First of all, I'd just like to thank the entire Jess and Nieto planning committee. It's been inspiring. I've had a chance to see a lot of the evening activities, and it's empowering to hear from all of the activists all around California, Kern County, and the nation. So kudos to all of you guys who had a hand in planning this event. Students wanted me to just give you guys a brief overview of L.U.P.E, what it is, when it started, activities that they've completed over the years. So let me just say that L.U.P.E has been in existence for the past 4 years, and really it came about because there was no real intentional or purposeful outreach to our immigrant community on campus, specifically for our AB 540 students, undocumented, DACA, Dreamer students. There wasn't any real support for that cohort of individuals. And it was actually Tanya Bernal, who is now a powerful community activist in Kern County, who initiated the process and was our first L.U.P.E president 4 years ago. So I'm gonna briefly just kind of do a small PowerPoint presentation to highlight student accomplishments and what they've done. Okay, just a few photos of us meeting, obviously. Of course, this was all pre-COVID, right? So that's when we used to have the ability to meet on campus. Nowadays, we still meet virtually. So if we have individuals in the audience that would like to participate, let us know. We will send you a personalized Zoom link so that you could log in on usually Fridays afternoon. And we're still very productive and keep connection with each other. Most of the students, I would say 99% of the L.U.P.E students have participated in the AB 540 class, which I'll talk in more detail afterwards. But this is just one photo of the class from a year ago. And that's when Brown Issues came to our class and had a pep talk, a motivational workshop for us. And we all got those really cool shirts that a lot of us would love to have. I included this because this event actually took place after the Jess and Nieto conference about 1.5 years ago. And it was one of the first events that our student leaders organized. And it was inspiring because a lot of the students had the courage and the confidence to speak about immigration issues, to talk about their status and immigration story, which we all know that it's not an easy thing to say in public. So that was a cool event. We had food, there was music, there was a DJ, had fun. But more importantly, students were able to showcase themselves as public speakers and student leaders. We've had the opportunity, you could see Octavio Barajas in the background, and we work together to coordinate activities for students. This is just one event that we went to a while back, which there's probably a lot of machistas in the house, so you know what these conferences are like, and they're very empowering and educational. And of course, you also got to have fun while you're out there, right? So we went out to the beach. One of the things that the students really maybe didn't like at first was they marched all over downtown LA into police department, into the ICE department. It was hot, but They did it with joy. It ended the day at the ICE detention center, and we had a rally outside, which was pretty amazing. This is another conference that they have gone to for the past 2-3 years, recently virtually, and that's the Immigrant Youth Empowerment Conference. It's very unique in the way that you get to see about 1,500 to 2,000 students, all with similar status. And it's always neat to hear from student leaders all across California. So that was an amazing experience. On a yearly basis, we do partner up with Cal State Bakersfield, and we like to take our young men to this conference because we all know, and some of the ladies in here, especially with the L.U.P.E, could attest to this, is that we need to definitely raise up intelligent, mature young men. And that's the main reason why we participate in this event every year, so that we could grow professionally. Obviously, we do a lot of culture things. It's just one event that they did on campus, and that's during the Sugar Skulls workshop, Dia de los Muertos, and we had the Patino family come out and talk to us about the background, and we had a little fun designing our own skeletons. L.U.P.E partners with a lot of organizations, and they were blessed to have several students to be sponsored by Chirla, by the UFW, and other organizations to go out to the Relay for DACA that happened about 2 years ago in Washington, D.C. So that was very empowering for students to go out there and advocate for themselves. I think this is probably my favorite picture of Karen. So I don't know if she's in here, but basically it says immigrants get the job done, which is very true. One of the highlights of the program and the organization is that we always saw there was a decline in the amount of undocumented students that were matriculating to the college. So we took it upon ourselves to schedule outreach activities to the local high schools at East High, at BHS and Delano to inspire more students to not give up on their dreams, because we do know that many of our graduating seniors were giving up on education before they even started. So we did college panels and went around to several schools and talked about their experience in college and try to motivate the next cohort of students that were entering Bakersfield College. We were lucky enough to participate in the Dream Big conference. This was a huge partnership between Kern High District, EOPS, Outreach Department, Financial Aid. I mean, there were so many different departments that had a hand in developing this conference, which is very unique because the whole conference was tailor-made for migrant students, for ELD students, ELL students, ESL students, because we do know that in the high school level, we tend to pay more attention to the AP, honors, GATE students, and very little attention to the migrant students, the English second language students. So this one was specifically designed to motivate that population to continue. Our students were there. It was an amazing crowd. Participated as tour guides, as mentors, participated as a college panel as they're doing today. So that's been going on for the past 2 years. Hopefully we could start that again when the campus reopens. Like I said before, a lot of the students are activists in the community, and they have several partnerships with many community activist organizations. Of course, the UFW Foundation is one of them, which is very empowering to me because a lot of the students that we work with are legally not able to vote themselves, but yet they go out there and participate in voter registration of Kern County youth. So that's amazing to know. We've gone out to Cal State Bakersfield. We partnered with Chirla as well, and they've done a lot of workshops for us, have definitely trained up a lot of the students on how to be better leaders in our community. Truth Forum was an amazing experience when we actually went out there and spoke about the injustices that we've seen in Kern County. I can't even count how many times a lot of the students have gone out to rallies, protests at GEO, at the detention center, and so forth. So many times, and I know Edith could probably tell you, it's been probably over 10 or 12 or 20. I'm not even sure anymore at this point. But several students do continue to do community service in the community, food banking with the UFW Foundation, with the Dolores Huerta Foundation, and many others. So it just goes to show that they care about the community even during this shutdown. One of the most impactful workshop that we had was a lobbying workshop, and that was done by the city councilmen from Delano and Visalia, and including Chirla. And they did a little bit of role playing. They got coached up on how to approach their, political appointees, governors, mayors, anybody who's in political power. We went through role playing scenarios on how to, gain support of local politicians and lawmakers. That was really cool. Social justice concert, we were blessed to participate in that. A lot of work went into that by many of the individuals that are currently attending this webinar, like Oliver and Octavio and Andrew Bond and Kern. So there's so many people. But again, this allowed our students to develop their leadership skills, public speaking skills, because again, they shared their testimonies about their immigration story. Had fun as well, because it was a very entertaining and a concert that had a very powerful message at the same time. Some of the workshops that they've done, CJ is very prominent in Kern County. Tanya is one of those leaders, obviously, and they have have visited our meetings several times in order to do specific trainings, such as deportation trainings. They've had their own events, at the Geo Center and so forth. Leadership has been one of the emphasis of the organization, of course. And this is one of the examples of some of the activities that we did before COVID. And that was going out to the Poly retreat. Amazing experience. We went through workshops. As you could tell, we were climbing some trees and so forth. Learn how to dance. And that's actually our president, Edith, right there, about to jump off from the tree. It took her about 5 minutes to jump off, but she managed and had the courage to do it, but she did it. We emphasize that a lot because one of the discussions that we often had in our general meetings was there's not enough representation at the student government level. And the only way to make sure that our voices are heard is for you to actually, kick in the door, take on positions and develop as a leader. And that did happen. Several of our members ended up becoming senators, were involved in student government. And obviously, as Edith alluded to earlier, she's running for president now. The Dream Open House is something that we've done for the past 2-3 years. Again, it is important that we welcome our undocumented youth to the campus, make them feel welcome and supported, and we will continue to do that. I'm not going to lie to you. Obviously, in the organization, they do like to have fun. They do like to hang out. Just some few examples, some of the things I like to do, and go bowling and go to conferences, go to Hart Park. This is a concert that a lot of them went to. I'm not in the picture because I wasn't invited. I'm still a little bitter about that, but they had an amazing time at the Roberto Tapia concert. They all got free tickets and it was pretty cool, I heard. Some Christmas dinners, kind of hanging out and just continue that student engagement piece of the organization. We haven't had a fundraiser in a while, but the last one that we did, I believe we made over $1,000 and we raffled a painting, an amazing painting that was done by a local artist. So we might do that again. But if any of you are interested in donating to the cause, we do have a foundation account and we would appreciate that if you want to be giving and give to organizations that are well deserving. Chicano commencement is obviously, many of you guys have seen what happens at Chicano commencement. It's special to us because a lot of our students, whether they're graduating or not, they are truly the ones that are in the outdoor theater, decorating the venue, cutting the flowers, escorting people, giving out water, just volunteering the whole day. And it takes a lot of manpower to make the outdoor theater look beautiful. And I'm very proud of the fact that these students continue to do that year after year. And of course, they participate in the commencement themselves if they're graduating. Picture of Edith, our current president. General meetings that we've had when we met. As you know, last year, our graduation was virtual, which is pretty sad for some of our grads. But that was okay because our leaders decided to, let's have a graduation, parade for our student leaders that were graduating. And we did that, right? And we kind of just celebrated their accomplishments. Turns out we're gonna probably have to do that again this year because the commencement is gonna be virtual once again. So I'll end with this. For those that are out there that have undocumented status and you would like to participate in a class that is specifically designed for DACA Dreamer students, AB 540, I have 2 sections in the fall and would love to have you there. For the educators that are in the webinar or community folks, if you encounter a student that would benefit from being a part of a class like this, please reach out and let them know that there is support on campus. There are programs like EOPS that would help them out academically with book vouchers and with academic counseling as well. And that pretty much concludes our presentation. Now I'm gonna lead this back to Edith.
Thank you, Professor Manuel, for walking us back through memory lane. I get excited when I see those pictures. Thank you. Hope you guys enjoy that brief presentation. And now we're gonna begin with our panel. The first question is to our panelists, and maybe if you guys can share why are you part of L.U.P.E? And we'll start with Jasmine.
Thank you, Edith. Okay. So when I first joined L.U.P.E, it was only because I wanted to be involved in on-campus student organizations. However, as soon as I joined, without knowing anyone, everyone was just so welcoming. They were all they treated me like family. It felt like if I had been there for the longest, and I was like where do they know me from? Because I felt so welcome. So then after a while, I started attending all the general meetings, and I attended the Dream Open House, which it was half of it was a student panel. And I was just able to hear every other first generation students, since I am a first generation student, struggles and achievements. I believe Manuel also did a presentation of the one that he just did. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do all of that, I want to become more involved. So I just, stayed in L.U.P.E, and now I'm the vice president of the student organization. And I've I'm recommending everyone, if you guys have the opportunity, to join L.U.P.E. It's a life-changing experience. All the students in there, all the advisors, everything is just everything is just amazing.
Thank you so much, Jasmine. Okay, may I have Elizabeth Garcia share, please?
The reason why I joined L.U.P.E was because it was recommended to me by Mr. Manuel Rosas when I was registering for my classes. And he told me that it was a little community for us Hispanics. And he didn't lie, the first day I showed up, it was pretty amazing, a lot of help. They don't make you feel like you're an outcast. They, Jasmine said, they treat you like family, and I really enjoy that. And it's also a place where I could be myself, and I love what it stands for, Latinos Unidos Por Educación. So that's the reason why I joined.
Awesome. Muchas gracias, Elizabeth. And now may I have Rafael de la Mora share, please?
Thank you, Edith. I joined because Manuel Rosas also told me about the student organization. I like the organization because I feel welcome there. And also there's a lot of students and also people like Manuel Rosas that make us inspire us to continue pursuing higher education and follow our dreams and never give up. Thank you. Back to Edith.
You're muted.
So sorry, guys. Okay. Now may I have Erick share, please? Thank you.
Thank you, Edith. So pretty much, I'm going to be very brief. When graduating high school, I didn't know exactly where I wanted to go to UC Santa Barbara because the migrant program, along with an education foundation named Youth to Leaders Education Foundation, they took me to visit UC Santa Barbara for a week, and then graduating, I wanted to go there. Unfortunately, they rejected me, which is not my loss, it's actually their loss because they're missing out on me. But pretty much, when being introduced to BC, the first one that told me about L.U.P.E was Pedro. I can't remember his last name, but he's an advisor at BC, and pretty much he introduced me to Manuel and to the rest of the L.U.P.E people, and I just started getting little by little more involved. I started out as a member, and then last year I was the president of L.U.P.E, so I am a former president of L.U.P.E, and that little by little, baby steps, I became heavily involved in this organization until this date as a CSUB graduate student, not graduate student, but a student who has graduated BC. I'm still involved and enjoying it. Back to you, Edith.
Thank you so much for sharing, Erick. Okay, so our second question is, why is post-secondary education important to you all? May I have Elizabeth share, please?
Me or the other Elizabeth?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, Elizabeth G.
Okay. The reason why it's important for me is because, you know, like many of us, our parents migrated over here to give us a better life. And I feel like, in a way, I owe it to myself and them to be better than they were, you know, because my parents, both of them, didn't even make it to middle school. So, you know, it's just like me trying to paying them back with that, because to them, education is really important. And it's true, you know, because it opens many doors for us in the future. Back to you, Edith.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Okay, now may I have Jasmine share?
Yes, thank you, Edith. Okay, so post-secondary education is very important to me because I am a first-generation college student. So my parents have been, you know, they also migrated over here, like due to like them wanting us to pursue a higher education. Both of them are currently farm workers, so I see the struggles they face every day. I see like you know, the terrible conditions they work under, like the weather and all the circumstances they have to work under. So I just feel like, also like Elizabeth mentioned, I owe it to them and to myself. Not only that, but I also want to become like the role model to my siblings, because I want to let them know, like, you know, it is possible. It is possible. Although my parents weren't able to, like, you know, help us out, like filling our FAFSA or college applications or any applications, considering they did not attend college. I want to let them know that it is possible to still pursue a higher education, although being a first generation student. And not only that, but like, you know, education nowadays is like the key to success. So I just want to pay back all my parents' sacrifices, be the role model to my siblings, and, you know, just gain, you know, all this knowledge, you know, from education and everything.
Thank you so much for sharing, Jasmine. Can I have Rafael share, please?
Thank you, Edith. Me being a first generation student, I know that I have known that it's important to have a higher education, because my parents were not able to obtain that, but they always told me that going to college and having a higher education is going to help me in life. So I'm trying to continue. I'm pursuing my higher education because I want to honor them. Like it's in a way I'm thanking them, like all the struggles that they have had, and showing, and also to show to my youngest siblings that it's possible to go to continue a higher education. Go back to it.
Thank you so much for sharing, Rafa. Okay, now may I have Erick share, please?
Yeah, so pretty much for me, the reason why higher education is so important to me is because I see my mother every day coming back from work. She works at Del Taco, so shout out to my mom for working at Del Taco over there by Riverwalk. So if y'all want to go get some tacos over there, you're more than welcome. But anyways, I see her come every single day to work with bruises and scars because she works with a lot of chemicals for cleaning and a lot of heavy materials. And that itself impacts me greatly because she has sacrificed so much for me coming here to the United States back in 2006. And ever since then, she to me every single day for me to get a higher education. She tells me since very little, the day I will keep supporting you until you get your, whatever level of education you want. Master's, even a PhD, I'll support you. But if you stop going to school, and then you have to go to work. And if you don't want to do either, then you're out of my house. But that's not why I'm involved, in to get a higher education just because I'm going to get kicked out of my house. No, I want to get involved in a higher education because I want to give back to her. I want to give back to my mother who has sacrificed so much for me, who has seen my struggles and can relate to my struggles, and I as well to her. So mainly because of that for my mother, and also to give back to the community members who have, inspired me and helped me to be where I am. At a third year junior in college, university, I never get to this point, but here I am, and I just need one more year and I'll be getting my bachelor's. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing, Erick. Okay, now may I have Lisa share, please?
Yes, thank you, Edith. So post-secondary education is important for me because I want to honor my mom's sacrifices of leaving Mexico and coming to the United States for a better life for my sisters and me. She is a hard-working farm worker, and as somebody who has worked in fields themselves, I know that those farm workers always have told me that education is the most precious gift that somebody could obtain. And to them and to me, higher education means more opportunities to grow, to interact, and it pretty much is to us. It means a better life in the future, and for our future kids, who will hopefully have a better life than we had and have less struggles. So that being said, a higher education means more opportunities for us and for our community. Thank you, Edith.
Thank you so much for sharing, Lisa. Okay, so
Edith, you're muted.
Sorry, I'll get better at this. Okay, so my other question is, do undocumented students have the right opportunity to attend college? And if so, how can undocumented students attend college? May I have Erick share, please?
Yes. Undocumented students have the same rights and opportunities as any student in the state of California to attend a higher education. There is a lot of help out there. And unfortunately, I have encountered some students who don't get a higher education, do not get involved because they think there are no resources out there. Just to point out some resources very briefly, there's the Cal Grant. There is at the California Community College level, there is what used to be known as the BOG, now known as the Promise Grant, Promise Grant, sorry. At the CSU level, there is the University Scholarship Grant, I believe. And at the UC level, there is the Blue and Gold Scholarship, which pays for your tuition as well. So there is so many resources out there. And I didn't even mention scholarships or other types of private grants that there might be. But there is a lot of resources out there and programs within those universities that are there to help students. At BC, there is a numerous amount the L.U.P.E and as program actually a year ago, if I'm not wrong. Also, the community itself is very supportive of undocumented and Hispanic and all types of diversity of students. So for that, we have to recognize that for sure. Other resources out there, which is kind of the same as, it is practically pretty much the same as the Cal Grant, is the DREAM Act. And also there is also various other opportunities. I'm trying to think of one, which I lost it in my mind, but I'll get back to it eventually. If I don't, then I'll put it in the chat or something like that. But like I said, every student has those opportunities and rights to go to college and not miss out on it, because it's very sad to see students miss out on an education just because they couldn't see the FAFSA sign or the financial aid office sign, right? We have to, and this is the whole purpose of why these organizations like L.U.P.E, Chirla, Latinos Unidas, all of us are, here to help students see that flag, see that sign. Hey, there is help for you over here. Come along.
Thank you so much for sharing, Erick. May I have Elizabeth Garcia share now, please?
So sorry. I think I don't have.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. If you don't want to share, that's okay. Okay. Okay, so our next question is, in what ways has L.U.P.E impacted you in or helped you pursue higher education? May I have Lisa share?
L.U.P.E has impacted me very positive in a very positive way, because it has given me the opportunity to take advantages of resources that not too many other students know of, and it has helped me build confidence by providing me with opportunities that have helped me build my resume and have helped me gain work experience. And for that reason, I do plan on pursuing a master's degree now, because I know that a bachelor's degree alone will not guarantee me a job. And L.U.P.E has helped me realize help me realize that their resume is very important. And with just being with the people that have the same interests as you, and all want to do better in life than our parents, and for our siblings, it just really has helped me stay on track, even though I don't have a immigration status. Thank you, Edith.
Thank you for sharing, Lisa. May I have Rafael share? In what ways has L.U.P.E impacted you in or helped you pursue higher education?
Thank you, Edith. L.U.P.E has helped me because it's a place where we have like all the students and also the another people that like Manuel, Rosas, that are there that wants to help you to continue and to learn more about like opportunities that you have, and also to have that like that inspires you to like to continue, keep going, and don't like there is like always continue and don't give up, like because there is a L.U.P.E we should support each other, and I think that's something that has helped me. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Rafael, for sharing. May I have Elizabeth Garcia share?
Sorry, thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Edith. One way that L.U.P.E has helped me is, like Rafael was saying, that Mr. Manuel Rosas, he makes sure that you're motivated and that you want to keep pursuing your education, because there's no line. Sometimes you just can't keep going. You just reach that limit where you're like, maybe this is not the time for me, because it gets hard. And L.U.P.E meetings help too, like when we get on online Zooms, like Zooms. We all talk about how we're struggling, and somehow that brings like support to you because you're not the only one, and we just like uplifting each other, and that's the way that L.U.P.E has helped me.
Thank you for sharing. May I have Erick share?
Yeah. So pretty much for me, I would say that, and I'm saying this in a very literal way. If it wasn't for L.U.P.E, I don't think I would be where I am today. Only because, like everyone's been saying, the emotional support, the peer support, the student support, the academic support, all of those supports, right? So I feel that if I have never found this organization or never encountered it, I would have felt very lonely in my Bakersfield College, journey. Um, and I say this because before knowing the organization and all of the people that are involved within the organization, I remember just going to the library and going and studying for a couple of hours, going to my classes, and then going back home. And that was it. And at some point in my head, I was like, I don't think this is, I should just go to the library and study and go home. If anything, I have to get involved. And that's when I met all the people that introduced me to L.U.P.E, and its, cohort of people. Ultimately, little by little, like I said, I started getting more involved and meeting the people through. I would say that through L.U.P.E, because of L.U.P.E, I have formed those connections with professionals in the field that I am trying to major in, which is sociology, which kind of includes nonprofits, human services, just the understanding of why society is how it is, right? And humanity, right? And through those L.U.P.E, I was able to really connect with the adequate people that are little by little helping me get to where I want to be.
Thank you so much for sharing, Erick. Now, may I have Jasmine share, please?
Thank you, Edith. Okay. So like all my other colleagues mentioned, L.U.P.E has impacted, I'm sorry. So L.U.P.E has impacted me in several ways. The emotional support from everyone is possibly my most main motivation to pursue a higher education. Something that I also really liked about L.U.P.E was that all the networking, like all the resources that Manuel, Rosas, and all the other student org leaders bring to our general meetings. We're able to network with organizations I never even heard of, like before being involved with L.U.P.E. I didn't even know there was a Mesa Verde detention center, and Chirla and other orgs introduced us all the things I didn't know about, that were within my own community. So being involved in L.U.P.E, now I like to join some of their protests, some of their events they held. Even during this pandemic, I like to be part of it. So I feel like not only that, but also leadership skills. I feel like I would never be in front of a group of people if it wasn't for L.U.P.E and other student organizations. So it has motivated me into pursuing a higher education in several different ways, like my other colleagues mentioned.
Thank you so much, Jasmine. And then our last question is for Lisa. And why is it important to have community where you can belong?
Thank you, Edith. So I think it's a very powerful thing to have. Being part of a community that helps you feel supported and helps you feel that you're understood by others. I just think it really helps create confidence, and it in the long run builds strength, especially when you're facing difficult obstacles. And at the end of the day, it helps you feel like you're at home, and it makes you feel that you're surrounded by your own family members. So I think being surrounded by communities that help you feel that you belong in the long run helps you feel that you're giving back to your community. Thank you, Edith.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. And now we're gonna open it up for Q&A. We do have one. It says, "Are international students welcome?" Yes, they are. They are more than welcome. And then another one, "Where can we find the L.U.P.E schedule activities?" You can email us. You can search us on the BC website. Just type in L.U.P.E and our org will come up, and you can apply there, or you will see everyone's emails, and you can email any of us, and then we'll send you the invite to our next student meetings, and y'all can come, and that's how we get connected and organize our stuff. So thank you all. If there's any other questions, please post them in the chat.
Edith, I wanted to chime in a little bit on the question about international students being welcome. Throughout L.U.P.E, either virtually or in person, we have actually collaborated with other clubs, such as the Japanese, it was called the Japanese Culture Club, I believe. Yeah, Japanese Culture Club. And they came and instructed us how to pretty much how to make these folded butterflies. And they were so beautiful. Mine came out looking more like a frog. I don't know why, but it looks somewhat like a butterfly. But international students are welcome. Students are welcome. L.U.P.E is for everybody who is motivated to improve our society, really, and pretty much have us all live in this peaceful world where there is no discrimination or hate. Instead, there is education and inspiration.
Thank you so much, Eric. So we're gonna wrap it up. I hope to see some of you guys in our next meeting. And then there's also another panel coming up right after this one. I'll go ahead and post the info on the chat. I'm so sorry, I didn't do it right. But thank you all. Have a wonderful day. If you guys need to reach us, please email us. Have a great one.
Thank you, everyone. And I would like to say just a final comment is that the success of the students and the organization is not due to one individual, right? This organization has got a wide support from many faculty, administrators, advisors, counselors, from Pedro Ramirez to Oliver, Rafa, Andrew, Octavio, Elizabeth Rodker, Jeannie Parent, so many individuals that have poured into the organization as support and guided. So kudos to everybody who's ever assisted one of our students or continues to support our cause. Thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you.